I tell her get low, gon' rock with me. You gon' mess around now and get a shopping spree. I'm now in your possession like apostrophe. Oh, enough with all the talking, I just told her say less and do more, do more, do more, do more. Oh, I tell her do more, do more, do more, do more. Go ahead, set the mood right, dirty like a fool fight. You been working all day, load it up in 2 nights. Do more, do more, do more, do more. Oh, I tell her, and she gon' work that round. I'ma mess around and drown when she drop that down. No more phone me blowing up, I like not right now. Oh, I swear that she in next the way she work that mouth. Whoa, automatic cause she move, she be cousin static. I be straight up like an addict, might be coming at it. Now I gotta have it, had enough with all the moves, yeah, move here. Ooh, let me grab it now, I'm on 1 year. Now I'm not done yet, told her wait right here. I'll be back one sec, this is just time out, this is not no way. Go and grab that friend, then you know what's next stage. You been rockin' with an all-star, baby, and I know you coming early like a false-star, baby. Packing out to see this ain't no hostile, baby, and they know me in the city like a mob star. I tell her get low, gon' rock with me. You gon' mess around now and get a shopping spree. I'm now in your possession like apostrophe. Oh, enough with all the talking, I just told her say less and do more, do more, do more, do more. Oh, I tell her do more, do more, do more, do more. Go ahead, set the mood right, dirty like a fool fight. You been working all day, load it up in 2 nights. Do more, do more, do more, do more. Oh, I tell her.
Hey, yo, Jay, can we get some ratchet one time?
Look, I don't wanna talk. How you try and press the kid and really you was soft. All you know is capping, homie, you don't know the law. Pedal to the metal, you ain't catching me in park. I just hit the stop, I don't wanna speak. Talking all that good, so I just hit you with the please. Running up the score like Tyreek, I'm going deep. Watch me how I'm saucing, I be spreading it with ease. You gon' see the peace, you gon' see the flex when you hear these writtens. Trust me, you know the difference. I got a long ways to climb before you see a slippage. I see the process and the journey I'm supposed to be, but perplexed, cause I don't really see nobody close to me. Hopefully this ain't wasted, and I know it ain't. You gotta take the time for seasoning to marinate. You need the patience under pressure just to detonate. I'm trying to blow up and these heathens need to get it straight. Gifted with a vision and precision, I'm just trying to make it high key. Might be breaking free like I was Zion in some Nikes. Tucked at the crib, bro, you know just where to find me. Making beats and spitting crack verses pretty likely. Yeah, socks with the burst, boy, I ain't changed a bit. Normal guy till I die, you know what it is. You probably thought I'd give up now that I got some kids, but really now I got these arrows aiming at your ribs. I don't wanna talk. How you try and press the kid and really you was soft. All you know is capping, homie, you don't know the law. Pedal to the metal, you ain't catching me in park. I just hit the stop, I don't wanna speak. Talking all that good, so I just hit you with the plays. Running up the score like Tyreek, I'm going deep. Watch me how I'm saucing, I be spreading it with ease. You gon' see the peas. Hey, please be on the notice, these my motives. Bought my chicken and it's rotis. You parsimonious, you take it all cause you a locust. My focus is to grow this mission. A visionary, get a dictionary. We here off the rip and we ain't sharing, we just caring. Let me speak it to the manager. We damage her, no you ain't messing with an amateur. I'm ramming, the competition ain't standing up. They fanning from left to right cause now they branded us. Now who that is? Mike Jones, they ain't want me now, they all on me. Got counterfeits trying to play me, I guess they thinking I'm Sony. These big head dummies showing up and out of their character. Homie, you need a price cause without it the squad ain't hearing you. Top of that, we ain't fearing it. We swinging for the fences with the sting of a left hook that connects with Sonny Liston. I'm dismissing any and all of the disrespect. Nonetheless, it ain't a threat, I'm just letting y'all know who's next. I don't wanna talk. How you try and press the kid and really you was soft. All you know is capping, homie, you don't know the law. Pedal to the metal, you ain't catching me in park. I just hit the start, I don't wanna speak. Talking all that good, so I just hit you with the plays. Running up the score like Tyreek, I'm going deep. Watch me how I'm saucing, I be spreading it with ease. You gon' see the peas, you gon' see the...
What's next for me, Joe? I'm gonna get that second bell. Where the f is it? They should have had them 2 bells ready. Spit shine for me.
Yeah. Head up in the clouds, started saying I look stressed. I've been feeling down, pray to God that I'm up next. Remember when she blew me off, that's why I can't text. Now she call me petty, but I swear I can't forget. This ain't a test. Now they saying that I ball like Jerry West. Coming back for what is mine, can't take no less. I You're shy, so I need your best. And stop the threats. So nobody's enemy. I don't got time, I'm not giving the energy. Too many people around me, I'm finicky. I do not mess with you, dog, you're not kidding me. You don't got way too close. I been up at the top now, so they all wait for the landslide. I seen too many people that switched up, whose man's high. Through it all, I stay the same, I swear to God, I can't lie. Been down so damn low that I came up for my life. They talk way too much on the internet, it's not real life. I swear my fam waiting, I can't lose, and I'm still right. Still right, I swear that I'm working them up till like midnight. It's real life, I got a time and I'm coming to get mine. In time, I cannot lose and I'm coming right inside. I'm in mine, yeah.
Here we go, at the top of the class on a roll, and it's time to run it up, yeah you know. Maxed out, put the pedal to the floor, ayy, on the road, here we go, yeah we winning by a landslide. Never see me coming, I'm a landmine. Yeah, I ain't taking orders in command, like, yeah, you about to see me on demand, like, you know on demand. If you ain't know, you about to understand. Yeah, I got the team by my side, right hand. Yeah, take it to a string, you ain't seen it like that. Yeah, and it's the dream, and we coming for the bag. Yeah, and we ain't never going back now. Future expedited, now we on the fast track now. They won't lend a hand, now they see us on the map now. It's time to act out. Here we go, at the top of the class on a roll, and it's time to run it up, yeah you know. Maxed out, put the pedal to the floor, ayy, on the road, here we go, yeah, at the top of the class on a roll, ayy, and it's time to run it up, yeah, you know, yeah, maxed out, put the pedal to the floor, yeah, on the road, here we go, here we go. Here we go, at the top of the class on a roll, and it's time to run it up, yeah you know. Maxed out, put the pedal to the floor, ayy, on the road, here we go, yeah, at the top of the class on a roll, ayy, and it's time to run it up, yeah you know, yeah, maxed out, put the pedal to the floor, yeah, on the road, here we go, here we go. Here we go. On a roll, here we go, here we go.
What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Frankie Candles live stream every single weekday right here at 5:45 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And guys, Bitcoin is continuing its dump to the downside. Are we about to see our key levels get hit at the bottom of our volume profile, getting closer to that $90,500 level? I'm getting a scam call right now, guys. Sorry about that. But are we about to see Bitcoin continue to dump? You guys know the Silk Road news. Is this about to be, dump Bitcoin? Am I worried about this? We're going to be breaking it down on tonight's live stream. We have come down a bit more here, and I want to talk about the key levels we have down below us. You guys should be pretty familiar with them, but I'm going to break down the price action, let you guys know how I am handling this volatility, mostly to the downside. So shout out to the CandleMafia. Thank you all for tuning in. I appreciate every single one of you guys. And some of you guys might be looking at me being like, yo, why is Frankie wearing a Christmas sweater? Well, shout out to Crypto Pollo. I got a visit from her little, one of Santa's elves dropped off a late Christmas present for me from Crypto Pollo. Shout out to Crypto Pollo. Get me this Frankie Candles Christmas sweater. By the way, Crypto Pollo, this is my Christmas sweater for the end of time. Every time I go to a Christmas party, I am now wearing this. But shout out to Crypto Pollo. Check this thing out, guys. This thing's pretty dope. Look at that thing. We got our own ugly Christmas sweater, right? That's what they call these, I think. But this one ain't so ugly. Shout out to Crypto Pollo, bro. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. And not only that, I don't have it here, but they also sent me a Billy Goat Tails keychain, which is super dope. You're now the only keychain that lives on my keys. But shout out to Crypto Pollo. Thank you so much for that. Drop those chickens in the chat for Crypto Pollo. Thank you for that, bro. Merry Christmas. And yeah, appreciate you so much, bro. Thank you so much for sending that. But guys, we got a lot to look at here on the charts as Bitcoin is getting pretty volatile here, specifically to the downside. So without further ado, real quick, don't forget to smash that like button. Every 100 likes you guys get, or we get, that you guys give us. We're going to add some extra free chances to get some free crypto. If we hit 1,000 likes on tonight's live stream, we will be giving away $100 in Solana. So smash that like button ASAP. Touch it with your elbow, headbutt it, touch it with your butt. We don't judge you. Just go ahead and hit that like button and make sure you touch it an odd amount of times. We don't care how much you touch it. Just make sure it's an odd number of times. But yeah, shout out to P-Dub in the chat. We got Pennywise, we got French Toaster, we got Crypto Pollo, as always. Let's see, we got Handy, we got Jesse in the chat. I almost messed that up with Jenny Swanson. But shout out to Jesse. Welcome in, bro. Thank you for being here. We got Jay Violet in the chat, Crypto Trey. We got everybody out here. We got Brock in the chat. But yeah, actually, Brock says the most bearish FUD oftentimes marks the low. Two options. Government FUD creates capitulation down to 80K, or we hold 90K and bounce from here. Either way, I'm buying. Hey, shout out to Brock, bro. I couldn't agree with you more. Kind of with that whole message right there, bro. That's all we got, guys. That's all I was going to say here for the most part. So shout out to you guys. That's all we got. Frank Candles out. I'm just kidding, guys. But without further ado, let's go ahead and jump on into these dang charts and see if we can predict Bitcoin's next move. Let's get into it. So here we are, guys, on the Bitcoin chart. Let's see. Yo, Jenny says, Frankie using a foldable lawn chair. Guys, we do have our new chair is on the way. The new chair is on the way. Take some time. But we are. I believe Golden is dropping it off in the private jet. We had to work out a deal with him. It was an expensive chair, I'll say that. And it's hard to buy something from a man that has everything, especially a private jet. But anyway, let's go ahead and jump into the price action here, guys, because we got some interesting stuff going on. What is this? An alert. Let's go ahead and get rid of this. Bada boom. Delete it. But here we are, guys. Now, I do want to talk about some more higher time frame bearish signals that we have popping up on the charts. But first off, I want to make sure we get this context right, guys. We are clearly in a massive uptrend, right? We are clearly in a bull market. We are getting an aggressive drop to the downside. Is 108K the top of this bull market? I will say, although I don't necessarily, from a chart perspective right now, fall in that camp, I do just want to say, when the top comes in, it's going to be very, very difficult to call that is the final top. Really what we want to look for is high time frame bearish confirmations. Technically, we do have some bearish confirmations on these high time frames. And again, I'm not necessarily a believer in $108,000 being the top, but I do think that some of these bearish signals could give us a bigger push to the downside. So I am bullish. We are clearly in a bull market, and we are in a massive uptrend. However, if we start breaking some of these key levels down here, things could get bearish very, very, very quickly. And I'm not that worried down to a certain point, but there is a specific level, I think you guys know what it is, that I will start to get a little bit concerned about Bitcoin and $108,000 being the top. But nothing has really happened up until this point for me to say $108,000 is the top. But we do have this weekly bearish divergence, which has been confirmed for quite some time. We have those higher highs on our price action. Again, you guys kind of know, I've talked about this many times. You guys know how I feel about this divergence. It's not necessarily as alarming as some of the other ones we've seen pop up in bull markets, but you do have that weekly bearish divergence. I'm going to go over those bearish puzzle pieces first, and then we'll cover, if the bottom could potentially be in from where we're at right now. But we do have that weekly bear dip, which has been confirmed for some time. We also have our monthly red dot about to print here on Market Cypher B. Now, granted, this is the monthly time frame. This is likely going to take some time to actually happen if we are actually going to get it. But if that VWAP comes on down here and crosses over that zero line, guys, it will give us that monthly red dot. And not only that, but it will also give us a potential, and again, it's not here yet, but there is the potential of printing that monthly bearish divergence with those higher highs on your price action, with those lower highs technically almost equal highs here on your momentum waves. But this is something I am keeping an eye on, but again, it is a higher time frame, and it does take a very long time for these things to play out. So I am keeping an eye on that. Technically, those are the highest time frame bearish signals. Now, another thing that has just recently popped up on the chart here, guys, that is a bit concerning here, at least, not for bull market being over, but at least for another continuation to the downside. And we're going to go into the lower time frames. I'm going to talk about the possibility of potentially getting a retracement here before coming down lower. But we do have that blood diamond on the 2-day in all of its glory. This is on a time frame like the 2-day, guys. This is not necessarily what we want to see. This is a pretty bearish sign on something like the 2-day. You can see back here, last time we printed a 2-day bearish blood diamond right up here. And these are on regular candles, by the way. It does show up a little bit different on Heikin-Ashi candles, but that gave us a 14% dump from where we were at. And then we come on over to this one. This one wound up giving us eventually a 21% correction to the downside. These 2-day red dots blood diamonds are nothing to joke around with. You can see here 14% dump to the downside, and then we have one down here. This was obviously in the context of a bear market, so I don't know if I would necessarily. 28%. I'm just saying, guys, it is printing here in all of its glory. Now, I will say, although, what was that? 4 out of 4 gave us a pretty big dump to the downside. This doesn't necessarily guarantee that price is going to get that same move to the downside, but if we did wind up seeing, like, say, a 25% dump from here, this would start to get. Oh, God, it brings us like right down to the levels that we really do not want to break below. So hopefully we don't get that strong of a reaction. But like I said, it's not always a 25% correction. We had the 15% correction, 17% correction, which brings us down to some very key levels. But again, potential monthly red dot, that weekly bearish divergence, even though it's a little bit wonky in my opinion. And now we have that 2-day blood diamond printing, which you guys can see does oftentimes give you big drops to the downside. But I do just want to mention, like, it's not 100% hit rate on these. You guys can see here, this one wound up printing, only gave you a little bit of a 6% dump before coming up. But for the most part, it does wind up giving you pretty nasty little spills to the downside. But again, context is king here, right? But hopefully we are not in a situation like this, guys. This is hopefully this is well, let me actually pull this bars pattern really quickly. How similar is this structure? Let me see this real quick. Let's drag this over, and then we'll get back into the actual TA here. But I do just want to bring this over just to kind of see. Yeah, let's go ahead and shrink that down just a little bit. See if we can. Yeah, hopefully we don't get something like this. And again, you can't just like pull your bars pattern or your fractals here and expect price to play out exactly like that. But, hopefully that blood diamond does not wind up giving us one of these. And again, yikes. But anyway, you have that 2-day red dot. You have the daily money flow continuing to the downside. This is going to be a big thing I am watching, guys. In bull markets, we obviously spend a lot more time in the green with money flow, but if we see that crossover into the red, I'll be honest, by the time this crosses over into the red, if we're going to get a bigger dump to the downside, this is probably not going to be the first signal that I look at because, once that money flow crosses over, we're probably already going to be down quite a bit, right? But this is another thing, right? Money flow on the daily is trending to the downside. And, most recently, we had been looking at this 16-hour money flow starting to cross over into the red. This has come back up. I will say, I've been saying this a lot recently, in this choppy price action, sometimes the indicators, and this is any indicator you look at, it's going to be a little bit harder to read, right? You start to get some false signals, and you can see, we had a nice little range here, and then we kind of chopped around in mini range. So it does get a little bit choppy here with the money flow, but I will say pretty clear bearish signals, 2-day blood diamond. If that confirms, we do have about a day and 2 hours for that left for that to actually confirm. If we got some big rip to the upside, that would completely invalidate the idea of that, and then this wouldn't be here, right? It would actually disappear. So we'll see what happens here. We come on over to the 3-day. 3-day green dot was printing. This was like somewhat of a decent sign recently, but we just got it swallowed up by a red dot. And then the 4-day, VWAP got rejected at the 0 line, and then, nothing really to take away from the 5 or 6-day. But, on top of this, 2-day blood diamond, right? Money flow starting to come out on some key time frames here. We'll go over those in just a minute. But I will just say this, right? We also have this, again, I'm not a pattern trader, guys, but this does look very head and shoulders to me. We were actually looking at this, and one of the reasons why we were being so careful at that $102,000 target that we were looking at recently, where we actually did have a long position from the low here. This played out absolutely beautifully right into our final TP and then extended into that $102,000 target. But the reason this was such an important target to the upside, guys, was because it was our macro golden pocket 786 retracement from the high to the low here. And what do we look at here, guys? And you can see here, like, we are super, I mean, technically we did break the low. But I will just say, when we look at the charts here, guys, when you're looking for retracements to the upside and these golden pocket 786 retracements as high probability areas to put in a lower high, right? This is what we always look at when we're looking for lower highs to come in, right? That golden pocket 786 is the highest probability area, in my opinion, especially when it's a full retracement from the absolute high to the absolute low of the local trend. This is really a key level to potentially put in, a lower high and then continue specifically breaking structure to the downside. And if we zoom in enough here, you guys can actually see that we did actually break this little wick here, like just barely. And we did actually take a scalp here in the premium Discord. Pretty, like, kind of just catching knives here, looking for that little swing failure pattern. I'll come down to a lower time frame so you can see it a little better. We did get in. We swept that low. We came up, and I did actually close this position, guys. I meant to take a partial TP and accidentally closed the entire position in profit. But also took a loss today, right? So I took a loss and then took a win. But I'm kind of upset here because I kind of wanted to hold that position, and I'll be honest with you. Hopefully, if you're out there learning how to trade, you can see how I consciously make these decisions. I'm feeling it right now, guys, because I am out of that long position, and I will say we now have bullish divergences confirmed on the 1 hour time frame with that, kind of sketchy SFP here. But I cannot FOMO in at the top here, right? Like, so badly, if this thing rips, I'm going to be pretty upset, right? But I'm not going to FOMO in at the high here. If I FOMO'd in, could it wind up paying me out in a big way? Absolutely. But I already did make some money today, so I'm not really going to take that risky position. I practice what I preach, right? I do not FOMO in at the top, even if it's like the top, like a local top like this. And we'll talk about lower time frames, see if that pops to the upside. But we'll see. If it runs in, if it runs up, I already made my trade here, took the profit, and we'll just catch that next position. It's a beautiful thing about being a trader here, guys, especially a day trader or a scalper. Like, you don't need to catch every single move, right? There's tons of moves. You can make money on this move, money on that move, money on this move, money on that move, money on this move, money on that move, any move in the market. We just need that volatility. It doesn't matter if it's going up, doesn't matter if it's going down. All we need is that actual volatility. But lower time frame here, right? We just looked at some of those scary situations, and I'm going to talk about the opportunity to potentially come down lower. Actually, we'll go over that first, right? So we come in, we hit that $102,000 target, nice long position on the way up, and then we got that lower high to come in right where we expected it to. We didn't know if it would come in at the golden pocket or the 786, but we know if we're going to put it in and continue an overall downtrend, the lower high is likely to come in between these two levels, right? And we wound up rejecting the golden pocket here and getting that next move to the downside. Now, if we see this actually play out, the measured move of this head and shoulders, if you are looking at it as like a head and shoulders pattern, right? I'm not going to pull the actual measured move here, or maybe I will. I'll try to do it here with the actual brush. I don't recommend you guys do this, but if you pull that measured move, it does bring you down to about $80,000 or $79,000, which is obviously not something a lot of people want to see. But if we see this head and shoulders, it is on the chart. If this breaks down and we cannot get back inside our local range or our major range sitting here, and I'll bring those levels up in a minute, if this winds up breaking down, guys, we could be looking at some much lower targets for Bitcoin. Now, again, it's not if we dump down there, I'm not necessarily gonna be like, oh my God, the bull market's over, but that head and shoulders is there. And again, I'm not a pattern trader. I'm more of a volume profile guy. But if we pull up our main range here, am I on the right chart? Where's our main range? Right here, bada boom. So we do have our macro range here, right? We deviated above the high into that key level, which was the golden pocket. We got accepted back into the range. You guys know, once you get accepted back into that range, and get accepted back below this value area high, you're looking for price to go to the POC. And then earlier this week, we were looking at that POC. Let me get rid of market cipher A here. We were saying, hey, if we can't get back above this POC and we reject here, probably going to start our journey down to where? Right down towards the value area low of our macro range, which is sitting here. I have a zone marked out. There is confluence down here where we have the value area low, a daily level of horizontal support, and the 786 Fibonacci retracement. And this zone is sitting between about $90,800 and $89,847. Now remember, when you're looking at these volume profiles, get stuck below the low, below the high, come to the POC, lose the POC, you look to start that journey, which has been an absolute chop fest here to the downside, potentially targeting these final levels. Now, this is still pretty significant support below us. If we start losing these levels, guys, I want to talk about the possibility, and again, we'll go lower time frame and talk about maybe that SFP saving us here, at least for some kind of retracement. If not, hopefully we just bounce. But again, you can't ignore the bearish signals that are on the chart right now. But when we look at this, very simply put, we have very clearly defined levels to the downside, and to be honest with you guys, they're quite simple, right? We do have a daily level of horizontal support, right? The first one is in our first zone of support, right? So if we did come down here and play with this value area low, this would be somewhere I would be interested in looking for long positions, only if we got confirmations. But once we break down below this level, if we can get down there and we lose this to the downside, the next key level of support is going to be sitting on this daily horizontal level, sitting at about 87,000 First one is at $89,909. That's the bottom of this box. And then this one is sitting at about $87,347. And then if we lose that daily, we're pretty much coming down to the structural range low, sitting here at about $85,212. So if we come down here and we start losing this range and we cannot get accepted back in to get a full rotation to the high, I will be looking for a move down to 87,345. We lose that. We could come down to this range low. And the one thing about this range low, guys, is we have a lot of liquidity sitting below us here. And I will try to pull up the heat maps if I can get them to work. But if we break this low, guys, it could cause a lot of those liquidations to get triggered, a lot of those stop losses to get triggered, people trying to hold those YOLO longs here on that retracement up to $1 billion. There is likely a lot of liquidations and stop losses sitting down here. And if we start, what do we know about liquidity? Once we start stomping out these people down here, it is going to add extra sell pressure to the market, because as soon as you start, once you get stomped out of a long position, it is going to create a market sell. Same thing with liquidations. So once you start getting those liquidations, it could cause a panic wick to the downside, potentially into our next significant support level sitting right here. Let me pull it up. Actually, wait, why is it not in this folder? Somehow that got deleted. Let me pull that one more time. If we do come into that zone, guys, we have a significant confluence, and this is an extremely, extremely important level of support. You have your golden pocket as well as your, let me pull it up, daily naked points of controls. You have one right in the middle of that golden pocket and another one down here at about $80,000. And again, if we look at the, if we kind of look at this little head and shoulders, if I just measure it out roughly, right? Head, boom, right shoulder, boom, right? And then you kind of just pull this measured move right down to the bottom of the neckline, and you pull this, it does bring you right into this $80-ish thousand zone. And I want to answer a real quick question before we, kind of like get too serious about this. Am I looking at this Silk Road thing and the government selling all this Bitcoin as a super bearish signal that we are definitely going to get a massive dump to the downside? I'll be honest with you guys. We see stories like this all the time, right? Like China bans Bitcoin, or like all these weird news stories that like everyone gets super scared of. I am not personally that worried about this right now. Could it wind up being bearish? Sure. Could it wind up not really affecting price too much? Yes, we've seen that happen 100 times, where you get some kind of bearish scenario or some kind of bearish news that comes out like this Silk Road stuff, and everyone expects a big dump and you don't get it, right? So for me personally as a trader, listen, is it bearish news? For sure. Am I like just going to guarantee that we dump off of it? Not necessarily, right? Because as a trader, we have our key levels. I'm just going to be looking at the grand scheme of things, right? Because even if that does create a sell-off here, we have the support down below. Lose this range, we have some more support down below. And then like it's not really until we start getting down to that $80,000 to $82,000 level where I am seriously concerned about Bitcoin, right? And I'll be honest. There are some people calling for this zone to come in, right? $77,000 to $72,000, 73. This zone right here. Let me get you actual numbers here. 76,535 all the way to 73,757, right? Now, technically, right, this would be very sus, right? This would be, come on, Bitcoin. Come on, get going. Get back up. It's like when you're watching a boxing match and your fighter's down. It's like, come on, bro. Come on, get up. Get back up. If we get down here, it gets a little sus, right? And I've gone over this a million times on the live stream, so I'm not going to spend too much time on it. But, this is a very key level. This first zone between $82,698 and $80,000. You have your golden pocket, 2 daily naked points of controls, and your massive anchored VWAP coming up through here, pulled from all the way down here on these August 5th lows. So this is a huge, huge zone of support. I will definitely be looking for longs down here if we do wind up getting the dump. And then once we come down here, you have your daily naked point of control, your 786. I believe we have another level in here as well. But again, this zone kind of ranges from about 76,535 to 73,757. This is also very confluent. Actually, I think that's what the bottom of this zone is. It is very confluent with our range highs, right, from this 7-month consolidation, right? So not only do you have the fib levels, the daily naked point of control, the anchor VWAPs, but once you get down to the 786 zone, you also just have like straight up structural support. The problem here is if we start losing those levels, guys, I don't know what's going to happen. I will break down the price action when it gets down there, but if we were to see that, this is like literally like Bitcoin's got to get going down here. Because at that point, you've lost your CME gap. You're starting to test your previous range lows. And if we start losing this support here, specifically the range highs, and we get accepted back into our 7-month consolidation range, I will say, not a good sign. Once you get below that value area high, sure, we have a lot of support down here, but once you get accepted into this lower range, you are potentially at risk of coming back down to the low. And I will say, yeah, I would be super concerned if we do come back down there. Now, we could look at these last levels of supports, 66K. I'm not looking down there just yet. To be honest with you guys, I'm not even really looking down towards $80,000 just yet, right? Because we still have support down here. And really, the next technical stop for price, even if we do get the dump, is really just $90,000 and then down to about 87.3 and then down to about 85,000, right? So if we come down, we don't bounce here, we don't bounce here, we could potentially fake out below, take out all this liquidity into our key level of support, which is that golden pocket. And if we were to be able to get some bullish confirmations down here after liquidating all those people, right, that could be a very, very large move to the upside. And that would be like ideal. If we get the dump, that's how you want it to end up, right? You do not want to start losing this golden pocket. Doesn't mean the bull market's definitely over, but it really puts you in a sticky situation. So let's just hope we hold that if we come down there. But that's what I'm looking at long term. Nothing has really changed. Again, we're just kind of working our way down here. We lost this POC. We had some local support yesterday. I got stopped out of that long earlier. But, when you're looking at the grand scheme of things here, let me pull up like a 6-hour time frame. We are expecting once you lose that high to go to the POC, lose that POC, you expect that journey to the low. My scalp long position from this local profile here, right? Let me hide the main range, right? We have this local profile here. And this, the long position down here was really, we actually showed this last night, right? Was really just based off of a deviation below the low. We came up, flipped that value area low to support. I was really looking for this to hit the POC, and it front ran that POC by 0.39%, right? So we almost got into that POC, but then we just got stopped out. So no big deal. Not freaking out about that. But when we take a look here, I want to take a look at these lower time frames, right? Let me pull up the macro range, and let's zoom in here, right? Because what is going on here on the lower time frames? So for the most part, the scalp long that we took earlier today was very simply just based off of the SFP of this wick low, right? We see the liquidity sitting there, which I was using CoinGlass for because I can't get onto high block for some reason. But let me just make this a little thinner, right? So we came down here. We had some liquidity sitting down below. And I'll be honest, this wasn't the most beautiful SFP in my opinion, right? Because what I really would have loved here was a wick down below the level into our key level of support, closure of that candle above for a very aggressive move back to the upside, whether that was for a retracement, for a bigger move down, or a move all the way back up to the value area high. That was to be figured out, right? But we did technically come down here, get that SFP. So we took a little scalp position, and like I said, I am now fully out of that position. And I do have somewhat of a feeling, based off the bullish signals I'm going to show you here on the smaller time frames, this does not invalidate the higher time frame bearish things that we were just talking about. But when we look at these lower time frames, let me just hide this anchored VWAP. I will say, right, like, what are we seeing happen here? I'm actually going to look at this in the context of our... I'll just look at it in context of the major range here. But for the most part, right, we got our, not only that little SFP, right, starting on that 45-minute time frame, but now we're starting to print some bullish divergences down here. At first, this was a pretty suspicious long position, I'm not going to lie. You had the SFP, but money flow was gross. And then, we also had the 1-hour SFP as well. And now we're getting those bullish divergences starting to form, right? You have your 1-hour bull div confirmed, 90 minutes starting to print a mini little bullish divergence. It's not pretty, but it is there. But you are starting to get some low time frame bullish divergences, 45-minute. Even your 30-minute has a confirmed bull div here as well with that SFP. And again, this wasn't like that long wick that we like to see on the liquidations, but it is technically an SFP, right? We broke below the candle. We broke below that wick low, and then we came up, closed that candle above. That's the 90-minute, but really what I was looking for was the 1-hour. Came up, closed that candle above, and then you get a little push to the upside. Locally, can we get a little bit of a bounce? Also, 4-hour green dot. This is what we were looking at yesterday on the live stream, saying if we could print that green dot at some point and look for our 15-minute money flow crossover into the green, which I believe, what was yesterday? Yesterday was the 8th. And yeah, right about here, we were hoping for that money flow to cross over into the green to give us a continuation to the upside. But we never got the crossover into the green, and our 4-hour green dot just kept trying to print, right? Come on, print it. Nah. Come on, print it. Nah. And we even got rejected again at the 0 line here today. And it just keeps getting slapped down here. So, the 4-hour green dot, if we could finally print and confirm this thing without just getting completely stepped on, get that 15-minute money flow crossover with these confirmed bull divs. Again, it's not the cleanest thing in the world. Your 30-minute money flow is starting to come up, which is nice. I would be looking for all this low time frame money flow starting to trend back to the upside with our 4-hour green dot and specifically our 8-hour green dot. Now, I don't love the look of this VWAP. Typically, I like to see a nice rounded VWAP, right? This one is kind of like inverted, which does show that sometimes it will get rejected. So lower time frame, I would be looking for the 4-hour green dot. If we could print that dang 4-hour green dot, get the and maybe the 8-hour green dot would follow that very shortly after the 4-hour green dot. But if we can get that 4-hour green dot with the 30-minute money flow and the 15-minute money flow crossing over into the green, I still think that is the best bet of us coming up here. We just didn't get it yesterday. I mean, this money flow has been in the red for quite some time here. So we'll see what happens. But overall, I will say, if we get that bounce, I would be very careful of lower highs coming in here because we still, again, have front-run this value area low, 786, and daily level just down below. So we'll see what happens here. That's the long term and the short term. Maybe we get a little bounce here on the live stream. Maybe we can get that green dot to print here on the live stream. But just don't forget, guys, from a higher time frame perspective, like, could the low be in here? Hopefully. But again, it's not very confident here. Not very confident, especially with the that right shoulder of the Head and Shoulders coming in right on our golden pocket retracement. The macro golden pocket retracement is pretty bearish in my opinion, right? So if we start losing these lows, things could start getting bearish very, very quickly. Now, another thing that we were looking at yesterday, which I do want to bring up because this does kind of put like an easy, like if all these levels and volume profiles are super confusing to you, I highly recommend you look at the VP VR. VP VR or the VR VP. VR VP is what TradingView calls it. You can see here, right? We looked at this yesterday. When we just pull up a clean chart, why is that $85,000 level so important, right? Well, number one, we have a lot of liquidity down there, which means if we break that level, let me pull it up on a, actually, I think this is marked out. Yeah, there we go. Beautiful. And let me pull up the VPVR. VR VP. There we go. So why is this such an important level? Number one, it is technically our range low, right? In my opinion, you come up, you put in the higher low here, you get a massive move to the upside. So it's kind of your macro range low, which gives you two opportunities, right? You could look to come down here, like I said in the beginning of the stream. Maybe we get that SFP into our golden pocket, which again is sitting right hither, right? Maybe you get that SFP into the golden pocket. However, look down below here on the volume profile, guys. Quick moves up, oftentimes lead, right? I've been saying this forever, not just in this situation, but anytime we have a situation like this, quick move up typically equals a quick move down. And we visualize these by looking at the volume profile. You see this big gap. This big gap will likely have price fall through very fast, right? There's nothing really holding us up in here. The high volume nodes, price likes to stick to them. That's what creates the high volume node, right? So when you come up to price discovery, you start to range around, you build this high volume node, but when you have prior high volume nodes like this, right, like price is going to get gravitated towards these levels, and this is where you find the support. You can think of these high volume nodes as like floors, right? If price came down here, we'd probably bounce off this floor, right? You could kind of draw key levels like that. So if we lose this high volume node, which is at about $85,000, and we can't get back above, quick move down to about $76,257, right? That's kind of where the significant support starts to pick up. We have little high volume nodes in the middle here, but again, this is pretty much this is a significant gap, right? So hopefully we can hold the $82 to $80,000 zone, right? Pull this from the low to the high, right? So that golden pocket comes in right on this little blip in your spike in volume. But if you don't hold that, you're probably going to, right? So hopefully we can just fake out the range and get a big bounce. This is definitely possible and would not end the bull market, in my opinion. Things would still be bullish if we get a bounce from here. But you start losing it, that's where you're looking down towards the 786, and that's where things get a little bit sketchy because you're coming back down to test that 7-month range. Still support, but definitely sketchy because if you lose that decisively, yikes. Yikes. So there you go. That is what I'm looking at long term, guys. Pretty much the same thing that we've been looking at, and hopefully we can get that SFP and these little bullish divergences to give us a push to the upside. But the selling pressure is absolutely insane. It is absolutely insane. So be careful out there. If you're trading, guys, please, for the love of God, if there is a time to use stop losses and good risk management, it's right now. So if you're typically getting, if you're typically just like a risky trader and you usually get liquidated and you don't use a stop loss, if you're going to do it at any point, do it now. All right, let's go ahead and jump back into chat real quick. I feel like I abandoned you guys there to look at the charts, but hopefully you guys have all those key levels. And again, if you missed it, just scrub back to the beginning of the stream and watch it in 2x speed, if you dare. How is my audio, guys? How is my audio? Let me know in the chat how the audio is. And shout out to Baba Miles. Thank you for the super chat, bro. I'm going to recheck the super chats, make sure I didn't miss anything. Says, Merry Christmas, Frankie. Much love to the Candle Mafia. Shout out to Baba Miles. Thank you for being here, bro. I appreciate you. And, yeah, we got Crypto Poe's Christmas present on. Check it out. Frankie Candle's ugly Christmas sweater. I love it. It's not ugly, though. Don't call it ugly. Woo! Let's go. Let's go. I like this thing. I'm never taking it off. All right, let's see. Let me jump into some super chats, make sure I didn't miss anything. Bada boom. Oh, Alex O Crypto. Shout out to you, bro. Thank you for the super chat, bro. I appreciate you. Said, haven't shown my love enough for you, Frank. God bless. Happy New Year. And thank you for being kind. Love the Otter Gang. Shout out to Alex O Crypto, bro. Merry Christmas. Happy holidays. I hope you're doing well, bro. And by the way, how is fatherhood, dude? How is fatherhood? Haven't seen you in a bit. Let me know. I've heard it's very magical. I wouldn't know because I don't have a kid. But shout out to you, bro. Let me know. But yeah, shout out to Alex O, man. Let's see here. Tony D says, I have a unique goal to pitch. In 1 week, if we get 1,000 likes on every stream, Monday through Friday, we buy a CandleMafia sign from that dude, Tony on TikTok, LC Sign. If you know, you know. Shout out to Tony from LC Sign. Yeah, if you know, you know. He is one of the funniest people on the internet. So thank you, Tony. Thank you, Baba Miles. And thank you, Alex O Crypto. Hang on, let me come on down here. All right, let's see. Shout out to Dave Digital. Said, Frankie's late for the ugly sweater party. Shout out to Dave Digital. Yes, just slightly late here. But guys, smash that like button if you have not already. I hit the wrong button. Sorry about that. Smash that like button if you like the fake outs into the intro. Alex said, being a dad is the greatest gift in the world. Shout out to Alex O, bro. That makes me super happy, man. I will have a kid soon here, guys. I will have a kid soon. We have another thing that has to come first. I'll just say this. It has to do with hands, and it has to do with circles. Thin, small circles, if you know what I mean. I don't want to say it out too loud. I don't know where Mrs. Candles is. But shout out to Alex O, bro. I hope you're doing well, and I bet I'm just going to say this. Your son, I think it's a son, right? Correct me if I'm wrong. Has one of the best dads ever. Shout out to Alex O. Crypto Billy, thank you for the super chat, bro. Says, Frankie, just say yes. Alex O, Frankie collab. Shout out to Crypto Billy. Yeah, we haven't done collabs in quite some time. We did like one collab. We are going to get back to the collabs at some point very soon. But I'm not 100% sure when that's going to be. But when we do, yes, we will. Shout out to Alex O. We will definitely try to work something out. We actually didn't even plan on taking this much time off collabs. But I have a lot of stuff going on behind the scenes. But shout out to Crypto Billy. Thank you for that, bro. All right, let's see. Can we see the altcoins? Yeah, shout out to Hottie. We will take a look at the altcoins in just a second. I just want to make sure there's nothing else we want to look at here. Let's see. Yeah, I think that's it, guys. I mean, to be quite honest with you, even ever since we were at the POC of this major range, guys, like nothing has really changed. If I'm being quite honest, right? Like we lose the POC, go down to the low. Like price action's been good. We've been going sideways here. This is like still not that scary, right? Even if we come down to this value area low, it's like not the most scary thing in the world. And like Bitcoin's going sideways here. I know this feels scary. I know this feels scary. I know even that felt scary. But we are really just going sideways. But with this head and shoulders, let's see if we can push down to some of these lower levels, reassess the situation, and if it's time to panic, maybe it's time to panic. We'll talk about that. And I'll be there to walk you guys through every single step of the way. And yeah, I mean, when is where are we right now? Yeah, maybe we kind of get some bearish action, right? Obviously, the Silk Road thing seems like a little bit of a political move. And Trump, when does Trump get into office? Is it the 20th? I do think that will have a reaction on the markets. You would think, right, that it would be bullish, right? When he won the election, Bitcoin obviously went ballistic. If we see, January 20th would definitely be a. Somebody correct me if I'm wrong. I'm not like up to date on that stuff. I think it's the 20th. But that is the date that I would be watching, right? Is it going to be bullish? You know, you would hope so. You would think so based off how the election went. I'm not going to be trading that news. I don't trade news. But, you know, maybe we get some, like, crazy, scary, bearish action, right? Comes down, and then all of a sudden, oh, look at that. It's January 20th, and then we wind up getting a big rip to the upside. But if we do come down first, I will say it is probably going to feel like the scariest thing ever before that big rip to the upside. So just keep that in mind, right? Like, this felt brutal. Everybody thought this was like a crazy bear market. Everyone was like, Frankie, is this the bear market? I'm scared. Frankie, is this the bear market? I'm scared. I'm scared. And we just said the same thing we said up here, which was like, hey, guys, we're going sideways for the most part, right? Cyclically, this was very likely not the top of Bitcoin. Same thing here. Like, the probabilities and history would say this is not the top. Doesn't guarantee it. Do your own research, right? Understand you have to make your own financial decisions. I'm not a financial advisor. But history would say 2025 will be a good year, but it doesn't mean they can't try to scare you out first. So there you go. All right, let's go ahead and move on here. Let's see. Smash that like button, Mafia. Thank you, Jesse. Says 1,000 likes is needed for the survival of me. I don't know. If you like babies and puppies, smash that like button, guys. And free Solana. We're giving away $100 in Solana if we get 1,000 likes on tonight's live stream. Let's see. Shout out to I think Steadybug says buy Bitcoin from Temu. 2 for 45K. Is that, or it says Tenmu. Did you mean Temu? I don't know. Shout out to Steadybug though. But yeah, guys, if you hey, shout out to Aziz says Frankie, we were down over 30% last cycles. Did we lose the golden pocket last cycle? Then we jumped to higher prices. Do you still think if we're down to 77K, it's still concerning? It's 30% from 108 to 77. Yeah, so shout out to Aziz. That's a great question, right? Because the question is, I mean, this is kind of why I would be a little bit worried coming down to the 70-ish $1,000 zone here. Because if we measure, right, from the high here down to 80K, this is a 23% correction. This is 100% not uncommon in a bull market. I'm not going to go back and show it because I do it every stream, but this is not uncommon in a bull market. That's why, like, I don't think this is that unlikely, right? Like, I'm not going to be like, oh, my God, what's going on, right? And hopefully you guys aren't either, right? Because, like, hopefully the CandleMafia is prepared with these levels on the chart, so when they see that big dump, if we get the dump, I will tell you this, it's probably going to start getting scary through here, right? And you're not going to be scared. Why are you not going to be scared? Because you're going to be looking at this and you're going to be like, oh, wait a second. We have that big volume gap into the golden pocket. That's what we're falling through. You're not looking at this being like, oh, my God, what happened? Who's selling? Why is it dumping? You're going to know from a technical perspective why that fast drop is happening. Remember, quick rip, fast drop, right? So when you look at it like that, it gives you like peace of mind when you're seeing price action move. You're not like freaking out every pump or every dump because you know you have an idea of why it's happening and you're almost expecting it, right? You don't have to call for it to come in 100%, but if you see it happen, you're like, oh, we had a scenario for this. Like, we're just falling through this low volume gap, might be liquidating a bunch of people. Let's see if we can hold the golden pocket. That way, instead of coming down here and panic selling your Bitcoin into what you know as a key level of support, right? A lot of people are going to be like, oh, my God, I'm scared. I'm selling. And you're going to be like, oh, my God, there's key level support here. Maybe I'm still going to sell in fear, but I'm going to wait to see if we get a bounce off that golden pocket and try to get some of my profit. Get over here, Mrs. Candles. We were just talking about you. Oh, you like this? You rub it again. Ooh, all right, do it one more time. All right. Oh, God, one finger. Let me get that hand real quick. Anyone new to the CandleMafia right now is like, what is going on? Oh. All right, Mrs. Candles, we need extra sniffs because this thing's got a pump. Crypto Pollo got this for me.
Oh, that's so nice of him.
It's very nice of him. Shout out to Miss.
Doesn't he win all the things anyway?
Crypto Pollo? No, that's Lucho. Lucho wins all the giveaways. You've met Crypto Pollo. Actually, Crypto Pollo is a rare person that actually knows Mrs. Candles. You've met Crypto Pollo. I think you've met Crypto Pollo. Have you not? You might have not been at that that conference. Crypto Pollo, you never did meet Mrs. Candles. There, throw those Mrs. Candles hands in the chat, guys. If you want Bitcoin to pump, drop those Mrs. Candles hands in the chat. And you got to throw up a distraction. Throw up your hand. Oh, everybody, look at that. All right, let's go. Let's continue on here, guys. Shout out to Mrs. Candles. Good thing we stopped talking about her. But anyway, hey, shout out to Jesse. Thank you for the super chat. Said if everyone hits that like button, we have done it. If everyone just hit that like button, we've done it fast. Shout out to Jesse. Let's do it. Let's do it. What are we at right now? 359. Let's go to 550 right now. Smash that like button. Get to 550. If we hit 550 in the next minute, I'll raise it from $100 in Solana to $150. We're going to up the ante here. We're going to up the ante. Tony T said, poor guy, he's talking to himself again. Tony, don't blow up my spot, bro. Don't blow up my spot. Come on, Tony. But anyway, let's go ahead and continue on. Shout out to Dave Hagen. Hagen, what is going on, bro? Welcome to the show. Dave Hagen says, are we going to the range on... Are we going to range until the summer? I hope not. That's another kind of third option that a lot of people don't talk about, right? Maybe we just continue to range. We get a little rip down, hold some of these key levels that we have below. Maybe we hold the daily, go back to the high, rip up to the 786, right? Like, who knows, right? We could easily go sideways. But we'll see what happens. We have a lot of January 20th, I think, may be the day where we see a big move. Will it be up or down? You would have to guess up based off of the reaction from the election. But I would not be gambling on that, right? I only if I think it's going to be bullish and we're seeing bearish signs, I will be shorting that thing. I'm not just going to long it because of the news. But anyway. Oh, 1 minute. Did we hit 550? Oh, 423. So close. So close. All right, let's go ahead and jump in here, guys. If you did not already, drop your altcoins in the chat. Rob the Crypto Stomp will count up the votes and let us know what we're looking at. And I'm going to start off here with Ethereum, or Erythrium, as your grandmother calls it, and Mrs. Candles calls it. What do you call it? Ethereum. That's what I mean. You said Erythrium. No. They can't hear you. You got to say it. They're going to see if you come over here. Shout out to Mrs. Candles. She says Ethereum. I've heard her say Erythrium before. She said she's losing all. Did you check your Coinbase?
Yeah. What are you doing?
I didn't do it. Listen. I'm up on a short. I told you. Grab the charts. Your boyfriend is Frankie Candles. I'll teach you. It'll bring a tear to my eye. I'm sorry. She's mad, guys. She's mad that she's losing money. And well, you got to short it to make money when it goes down. She said, you said I can make money whether it goes up or down. You can't just listen to the slogan. You gotta learn. Shout out to Mrs. Candles. Okay, you can have my Bitcoin. Yeah, she's still learning. All right, let's take a look at Ethereum real quick here, guys. And I'll be honest with you. Nothing really to update, right? Yesterday, we knew, right, in the grand scheme of our value area, we rejected the value area high. Let me hide this mini range real quick. Bada boom, bada bing, get out of here. Right, we come up here, we hit that value area high, we get the drop to the downside, we hit that POC spider line, but we knew if we were unable to reclaim that spider line, which based off other bearish signals was somewhat likely, once we got below that POC and couldn't get back above, we looked to begin our journey closer to that $3,000 key level of support. It is proving to be quite a slow and brutal grind down there, but we do have it sitting down here. This zone, more specifically sitting between $3,079 and $29.66. Wow, Mrs. Candles doesn't want to leave me alone. Oh, she's going in the closet. And I don't know what she's looking for. Oh, that's just a deflated balloon. It's a balloon. It's like a person shape, you know what I mean? Yikes. I didn't know she was going to go in the closet, guys. All right, let's see. Shout out to Bilal. Thank you for the super chat, bro. He says, when will we see alt season? Maybe we'll take a look at Total 3 in just a second. Thank you for the super chat. Yeah, we'll take a look at Total 3 in just a minute. Maybe we'll take a look at others as well. Let's see. Yeah, altcoins getting absolutely wrecked. Where did the alt season go? It never started. Yeah, I'll take a look at we'll take a look at Total 3 in just a second. But first here, looking at Ethereum, guys, I mean, the doorway to this $3,000 value area low is still open, right? Value area low specifically is sitting at $3,000 even. You also have your golden pocket. You also have some liquidity sitting down there and a daily and weekly level of support. So, again, lose the value area high. You're looking to go to the POC, lose the POC, go down to the value area low. But it is oftentimes, even if we got a retracement, right, like it could be brutal. We could come back up and then finally hit it. Right, so it could take time to get down there if we're going to hit it. But again, for me personally, I only like to trade the high probability areas, which in my opinion is the value area high golden pocket confluence or the value area low golden pocket confluence with the daily weekly. Right, we have more confluence here and here than we do everywhere in the middle of the range. Typically, in the middle of the range, you see this kind of chop action, right? Right? You don't want that, right? You want to get key levels for strong moves to the downside, right? Deviate above the high, get accepted back in, strong move to the downside. Break above the value area high, strong move to the upside. Flip it to support, strong move to the upside. We don't want to trade the middle of the range, right? For me personally, that's not how I do it, right? But, so if we continue down here, that's still your key zone of support. And it could just be that long, brutal journey. Yeah, take a look at the daily. Daily red dot confirmed. 2-day red dot also confirmed. 3-day red dot printing. Give us the blood diamond. Do we have it? Please, for the love of God. Ugh. Yeah, I was this printing yesterday? This might have been printing yesterday. I think it was. Yeah, we have 25 minutes left to confirm this. Yeah, so that blood diamond into the golden pocket, value area high confluence, that blood diamond was wound up giving you the bigger move down. 3-day money flow, though, still in the green here. So hopefully this doesn't come back into the red. That would just be super choppy and annoying. But, this 3-day money flow does indicate the longer-term trend. I would say even if it fakes out again, like these 3-day money flows, take a look at this yesterday, is nothing to joke around with, right? 3-day money flow crossover, 105% move to the upside. Money flow crossover, 92% move to the upside. And now we have spent some time in the red down here as we had that brutal drop on the altcoins accumulation, right, before the bigger breakout. Money flow just crossed over into the green, right? So from a trending perspective, this doesn't look as bad, but that blood diamond on the 2-day, last time it brought us down to the value area low before getting a rip back up to the high. Maybe this one does something similar. We push down to that value area low, and then we get a move back up to the high. But that's what I'm looking at on Ethereum. And I will say this, guys, when it comes to the top coming in for Bitcoin this cycle, I'm not saying it's impossible. But it's like this will be the only bull market ever. Like Ethereum hasn't even made an all-time high. Has not broken its all-time high. That would be like the weirdest scenario where we see a Bitcoin bull run. Ethereum never makes all-time highs. It just seems very unlikely. Now, does that mean that we can't continue down or see something super bearish happen? Does this mean that we can't get a black swan? Absolutely not, right? We can, if we come back down to 2020, right? Different timing, right? But, you put the bottom in here in 2018, you get a massive rally to the upside. People are like, oh my God, this is great. Oh, wait, now what's happening? Oh, wait, no, game on, and then boom, right? Like that was absolutely brutal. And on Bitcoin, this was the 2020 dump was essentially the 786 retracement when you look at it from a weekly time frame. Similar on Ethereum. But if you take a look at Bitcoin here, pull from the bear market low, right, all the way up to the high here. It was essentially just a 786 retracement. Right, so like, can you see crazy things happen in the market that are unexpected? Like even this, yes, absolutely. But is it likely? I mean, that's just like one of the obvious things. It's like Ethereum's just not going to make an all-time high this cycle. That would, again, not impossible, but like that would just be the weirdest thing in the world, right? That would just be absolutely crazy. Hey, shout out to Captain Kirk. I actually don't see. Oh yeah, Sergeant Kirk. There she is. Shout out to Captain Kirk. Welcome in. Thank you for being here. I appreciate you. Big BTC target. Shout out to I think that says Xness. Shout out to you. If you're looking for like bull market targets, I just dropped a 2025 prediction video on the channel. Go check that out. I talk about all my bull market targets where I am going to be taking profit on the way up, right? We look at some higher targets, but I keep it realistic with you guys, right? We look at some really high targets, and then I say, but listen, guys, I like to be a little bit more conservative. My goal in crypto is not to make as much money as physically possible, right? And you might say to yourself, why, Frankie? That's crazy. Why would you not want to make as much money as possible? Sure, I want to make as much money as possible, but if you approach your strategy with that mindset, I promise you, you will wind up losing all of your money or holding on to your bags way too long, and you're either going to hold them back to the bottom of the bear market or you're going to sell them on the way down and make significantly less money than you would have if you were just conservative. I can't tell you how many people I've talked to, right, in 2021 that I know some that took profit right here at about 41. I knew some people that took profit at, I think, 51 or 52. And, at that time, they were like, oh, my God, I'm a genius. And then when it started ripping up, making new all-time highs, they're like, oh, my God, am I the dumbest person ever? Why did I sell my Bitcoin? But in hindsight, sure, they might have been a little conservative selling at 40K, right? But if they were buying down here during the bear market, right, that's 1,000% gain. And locking in that 1,000% gain, in my opinion, missing out on potentially, right? Because if you don't sell, you're better off selling conservatively is what I'm trying to say, right? You're better off taking profit here, locking in, in this example, 1,000%. And, because what would you have missed out on? 54%? After making 1,000%? Who cares about that 54%? And I talk about an example like that in that video, right? And where I'm going to be selling my Bitcoin and why I don't care if it keeps going, right? Now, I also know a ton of people who held, right? And they're like, oh, my God, I'm a genius. They didn't sell. It came back down. They thought it would bounce. And then they're coming down here, and they're like, oh, my God, maybe I should sell. And I know some people who were forced to sell almost at the bottom because they needed the money. Now, you bet at your bottom dollar, the most painful situation to be in is holding from the top or buying, holding all the way to the top, holding back to the downside, and then looking back and being like, man, selling at 41K actually looks pretty nice right now, right? So you have to prepare yourself for these situations. Do not find yourself, oh, we're going to hold for 100K because I'll make more money. Have plans. Have the amount of money that you want to make, like figure it out. Find it. Like, do you want to buy a house? How much money are you working with? Like, there's so much to this, right? How much money do you have to work with? That's going to give you you need to know what you have to invest to find out realistic gain potential, right? You can't come into this market with $100 and expect to make $1 million, right? But Frankie, I could hit a meme coin. Sure, you could. That's extremely risky, though, and very unlikely. I'm just going to say it. It's very unlikely. People make money in meme coins all the time. But I'll tell you this, guys. I know tons of people who are full-time crypto, and I think I know one person that made $1 million trading meme coins, right? I don't even know if it's that much. So I almost know nobody that has gotten rich off meme coins, and I know a ton of people that are full-time crypto. So just keep that in mind. It's possible. It's not as prevalent as social media would make you think, right? You see all these 17-year-olds. I made $13 million on a meme coin. It's not all what it looks like. I promise you that. Doesn't mean you can't hit it big on a meme coin. It definitely does happen, obviously. But it's just, if you have $100 to invest, that might be the best route to go. Learn meme coins, but focus on that skill, right? Focus on that skill. Learn how to find the best meme coins, right? Don't chase the shiny objects. But anyway, let's continue on here. So that's what we're looking at on Ethereum. Same levels, right? $3,000 being that major key zone, right? And I'll be honest here, right? Looking at Ethereum, this wick right here, this could be a potentially a beautiful SFP if we come down there. And we see this, right? We start to push down. You could potentially swing fail that wick right into massive key resistance, right? So we get a quick drop here and then close above this level. That could be a very nice thing to look for on Ethereum. But overall, we'll see what happens. That 3-day blood diamond is a little sketchy. All right, let's go ahead and move on. Shout out to Rob the Crypto Snob. Where's he at? I got to find his chat. Let's see. I think Rob is here today. Is he not? Maybe he's not. Rob? Has anyone seen Rob the Crypto Snob? I didn't technically see his name, so he might not. Oh, no, there he is. Let's see. He probably put the alt list. I'm just missing it. But we'll see. We'll check out Solana. If you could drop the alt list again. Tyler said who? Shout out to Tyler Durden. Who? What? What's a Rob? Shout out to Tyler Durden. Rob is someone who has a birthday every single day of the year. Shout out to Rob the Crypto Snob. Alt list, yes. Shout out to Rob. Thank you, brother. I probably missed it, but if you could just drop it again soon, I will go ahead and grab it. Bueller, shout out to Sergeant. Wick589 in the chat. Shout out to, oh, God, you guys you guys are ditto. Shout out to Sergeant and Wick, dropping the Buellers. How about H-Bar AVAX Gala? Sure, we haven't taken a look at Gala in some time. Thank you for that, Rob. I appreciate you. I'm going to pin that message to the top. But there are some other ones I want to look at. We're going to take a look at the list, guys. I will go over a couple freestyles. Maybe I'll grab some from chat. But the list will be Gala, AVAX, H-Bar. And then we'll kind of freestyle a bit. Tyler, thank you for dropping the Bitcoin 2025 video. I appreciate you. If you guys want to open that in another tab and check out my 2025 outlook on Bitcoin, definitely go ahead and check that out. But let's go ahead. We'll start with the list, and then we'll take a look at Solana. I want to take a look at XRP. We'll take a look at some key coins that I know a lot of people want to see. But first off, let's start with AVAX. And we actually did take a look at AVAX yesterday. But we'll check in on it again. And here we are, right back at the golden pocket. I will say this, right? As AVAX is, again, I mean, I'll be honest with you guys. I do mark out these volume profile levels with horizontal lines. The reason for that is so you can grab these levels, so you can get those same ranges on the chart, because this is the volume profile. We know this is your doorway to higher prices. If we get above that value area low, flip it to support, we're going to look for the POC. Get above the POC, we look for that value area high. Once you deviate above that high, this is relatively overvalued. That's where we're looking for shorts. Once you get back into the range, the next likely place for price to go is that POC. Watch the tutorial videos on the volume profiles. If you guys do not know what I'm talking about, it is the most powerful trading tool that you could possibly use, in my own personal opinion. I'm sure that's debatable, but it's one of the strongest tools that you can use, right? Every time you lose that value area high, right? If you have the bearish confirmations, we have money flow coming out here on the 12-hour. If you have those confirmations, you know where the high probability target's going to be. It's so reliable. It is insane. Imagine how lucrative that can be. Hey, if we get above this level, hold it as support, we're probably going to the POC. If we get above the POC, we're probably going to the value area high. Imagine how lucrative that is, right? Now, as we look at this, right, we lost the high, we got down to the POC, we're kind of just bing-bonging around here. That POC does act as a magnet for price. This is the strongest level within the profile. POC acts as a magnet. We get pulled down, get pulled back down, get pulled back down, get pulled back down, right? So this is the POC golden pocket confluence. So if we do not put in these higher lows here and get a move back into the high, and we lose this golden pocket, I am simply looking down towards the value area low and the 786 of the range between 31.66 and 29.46. This is where I would be open to some new long positions on AVAX, or maybe even a buy the dip scenario. And for a buy the dip scenario, this is, for me, would be buy the dip scenario number 1, buy the dip scenario number 2, and then, I mean, if you really, really started like nuking to the floor, buy the dip scenario number 4 would probably be somewhere down here near this old range. But I don't know if you're coming back down there. But this would probably be buy the dip scenario number 3. But 1, 2, 3. Yeah. But I don't know if we're coming back down there. So just keep that in mind. But for the most part, we're just right on track here. We're just inside that volume profile. Because we lost the high, would I expect the value area low to eventually come in? Well, based off the laws, you would look for that full rotation of the profile. But it depends on, sometimes bull markets, you don't make it all the way back down, right? You've even seen Bitcoin front run the value area low a few times. Granted, we might actually wind up coming back down to the bottom of it, right? We front ran it a few times. If we look here, right, you come down, or at least, let me pull it back to like here. Come on. There we go, right? So you front run it, you front run it, you front run it. But maybe we do finally wind up coming down and tapping it. We'll see what happens. But taking a look at AVAX, that's what I'd be watching, right? From a market cipher perspective, taking a look at the daily, nothing really to take away from the daily, to be quite honest with you. Take a look at the 2-day. 2-day red dot. Do we have the blood diamond? Do we have the blood diamond? No blood diamond on the 2-day. No blood diamond on the 3-day, which I'll be honest with you is quite shocking to me. That looks like a blood diamond red dot in my opinion. But I guess you didn't get it. Interesting. Nothing on the Heikinashis as well. So yeah, I mean, red dots printed on the higher time frames, like definitely not impossible to come down to this lower zone between 31.66 and 29.46. Money flow on the 3-day still in the green, right? So, it could potentially, right? Once that money flow crosses into the green, you anticipate the trend to continue to the upside, right? But it doesn't mean you can't pull back to put in more higher lows to continue up. But that's, on the pullbacks, you're, for the most part, looking for long positions, right? So there you go. That's what I'd be looking at on AVAX. Take a look at the lower time frames. Get rid of Market Cipher A just to clean the chart up a bit. 2-hour. Yeah, I mean, you're potentially putting in 2-hour bull divs at the POC. I mean, you're at support, right? And if you don't bounce here, you lose it. You're coming down to the value area low 786. And I would be interested in longs down here, personally. So there you go. That's what I'm looking at on AVAX. Shout out to Jesse with the super chats, bro. Shout out to Jesse. I appreciate you so much, bro. He says, okay, last time, smash that like button, Mafia. 1,000 likes are needed for $100 in Solana. What are we at? 496, guys. Let's run it up. On the count of 3, we're at 497. On the count of 3, hit that like button, and let's glitch this thing. If we get 500 by the time we count down, it'll go from 500 to 550 in a second, which we've done before. So on the count of 3, smash that like button, right? 1, 2, 3. Smash that like button. Let's go. Come on. We'll even hit the graphic for you. Smash that like button. Let's get it. Let's get it. All right, let's see. Let's jump into chat real quick. Let's see. BTC and XRP taken down, or BITC? Is that an XRP taken down from Coinbase at the moment? Oh boy. Oh boy. Oh boy. Oh, there we go. 550 in 1 second. Unbelievable. That's all it takes, guys. We just got to count it down. We should make an animation for counting down the like button. That's crazy. 50 likes in like a second. Just count it. 3, 2, 1, another 50. Let's get to 600, baby. 1,000 likes gets us $150. I'm just going to keep it at $150 in Solana on Friday's live stream. Let's go. And don't unsmash it. Shout out to JD. All right, let's see. You're going to freestyle? Shout out to Jungle Boy. Were you in that stream where I freestyled? That was embarrassing. I did have an echo in my headphones, which is like scrambles your speech, but I can't promise you it would have been better if I didn't have that echo. It probably would have still been bad. All right, let's see. Pennywise said, what happened, bro? What happened, guys? We were doing so good for a couple weeks there. Yeah, we need Bitcoin to go up. No one wants to smash the like button when Bitcoin goes down. Even when we call it going down. People still want to hit the like button. Come on, Mafia. Let's do it. I think we can. All right, let's see. Bada boom, bada bing. Writing rogue code is my favorite pastime. Shout out to RMT. Let's go. Retro Mike Tech in the house. All right, let's see. Is it a good idea to make longs on this price, 36, 34, 35 on AVAX? I mean, listen, it is a key level. It's your POC Golden Pocket Confluence. The only thing I would be a little sussed out about here would be the fact that we've touched it so many times, right? Typically, the more times you tap on it, the weaker it gets, right? It's probably people who would argue that. But, you know, the way I would look at this for long positions is I would pull this local volume profile, right? It always comes back down to the volume profile, right? You're at the low here. If you can get some bullish confirmations at the low or on the deviation below the low, right? You come on into that low. This is typically, you know, actually, if you use the Frankie Candles Essentials indicator, you could actually find out what I look for. So search my name on TradingView, guys. Frankie Candles Essentials by Lux Algo. It's this one right here. Make sure it's by Lux Algo. It's 100% free. No email, none of that garbage, right? It's just 100% free for the community. Go search it now. You can get it on the chart right this second to follow along. But if you look at this, right? I get another scam call? Unbelievable. Get these scammers out of here. All right, let's see here, right? So if you look at this, it's a beautiful, beautiful indicator. Again, 100% free. No strings attached, just for the community. Shout out to Lux Algo for doing that. This shows you when you're getting the bullish confirmations that I typically like to see when you deviate above the high and the low. You deviate above the high, this is where we look for shorts. Deviate below the low, that's where we look for longs, right? This indicator, right? If I hide these automatic, it does have automatic Fibonacci levels, but I'm going to hide them just to clean things up. You can even use external oscillators, right? I use Market Cipher B for my divergences, so I can click external. And where is Market Cipher B? I had a hard time finding this last time. Whoops. Light blue wave, right? So now it's using the external oscillator, meaning Market Cipher B, right? You just select your oscillator, whatever you want to look at here. And then it'll find your divergences based off of the indicator that you look at, right? So if I look here, right, we come up to the high. You start getting some 1 hour bearish divergences here, right? And then at that point, you could look for the short position to come back down to your value area high. Once you get accepted below that value area high, you could look for price to come down to the low. Once you lose the low, once you lose the POC, you look to go to the value area low. And it's vice versa right here, right? So if you wanted to look at this as a volume profile, you could look for some of those confirmations, bullish divergences. You know, I like to look for many other confirmations, but in this case, you know, if you're just looking for bull divs, it gives you pretty good risk reward. In my own personal opinion, not financial advice, but let's continue on here. Let's jump into our next altcoin. It's going to be H-Bar. We have not taken a look at H-Bar in quite some time. Let's take a look. What do we got on? Aerodrome is killing me. Maybe we'll take a look at Arrow. We'll take a look at Arrow. I'll write that down. Let me actually. Arrow. All right. Why have one Doge when you could have 100 Sheeb? Shout out to RMT. I don't know. I'd probably rather have 100 Doge, honestly. I don't know. French Toaster in the chat. Shout out to French Toaster. What's going on, bro? Welcome in. Let's see. Okay. I'm out of my cool golden tags. Shout out to Provi. Shout out to you, bro. We'll have to give some memberships. If we hit 150, if we hit 1,000 likes, guys, $150 in Solana, and we'll give some memberships. We're just giving it all away today, just for some likes. Please, sir, can I have some likes? Please. I'm famished. Shout out to the CandleMafia. It is the easiest and most free way for you guys to support the channel. Push our stuff out there into that algorithm so we can get even more people in the CandleMafia. Hashtag not a cult. Hashtag not a cult. Right, guys? Right? Anyway, let's continue on. Definitely not a cult. For sure not a cult. Anyway, let's take a look here. That is not the H-bar chart we want to see. Let's take a look at that's the Bybit spot. I think our H-bar chart is the MEXC chart. There we are. Okay, so, all right, well, we actually looked at H-bar recently enough, right, to see that we have gotten nice respect on our volume profile here, right? Got the break above, right into the value area high, back down to the POC, right? You get it below that value area high, back down towards that POC. If you do not know how to use this tool, look at the beginner series on the channel. I have tons of tutorials on this, and I'm probably going to make some new ones updated for 2025. But lose the high, go into the POC. Bounce off the POC, you're back at the high. Lose the high, you go back to the POC. Lose the POC, you go to the low, right? These are your key levels. We've already tapped the value area. We got the full rotation here, back into the POC, back down to the value area low, back to the POC. So yeah, the POC is acting as a magnet, right? And it honestly gives you somewhat of a new kind of local range within the range. Rangeception. Unbelievable. More money to be had. But yeah, I would look at this in two kind of things, right? Like these are your macro levels. Key level here at the value area low at 24 cents. Lose that value area low. Looking down towards the golden pocket, sitting between 22 and 21 cents. Can't get back above the POC, go to the low, maybe deviate into the golden pocket. That would be a potential buy the dip scenario or long opportunity, in my opinion, if we can get those confirmations. But those are the key levels. Very simply put, value area low, 24 cents, POC, 28 cents, value area high, 36 cents. For me personally, I'm not interested in trades here. Looking at these key levels, right, the ones that we have on the chart right now, I would not be interested in any longer-term, maybe swing trades or multiple day trades or kind of like a short-term swing trade until we came into this value area low zone. And I wouldn't really be interested in shorts until we came up to the value area high zone. Now, for shorter-term trades, you could potentially pull your volume profile like this, in which case you could take your larger range, take your larger range off the chart, and you could just look at things. Even if you pulled it from here, right? I would actually probably pull this all, right? There's your local levels. And I'll even put this in a folder and call it local range. Boom, right? And then we got the value area low, POC, value area high, right? And that is nice context, right? Because now you can say to yourself, well, hey, now we're at a value area low. Am I getting any bullish confirmations? This is where you can look for those confirmations. If you start to get them, look for moving to the POC, flip that POC, go to the value area high. Deviate above the high, you could potentially look for scalp shorts back to the downside. Now, you don't want to forget that you do have your larger range as well, right? You don't want to forget that, right? So if you lose this range, you start breaking down. At that point, you just hide your local range, and you're like, okay, hey, we're back in the longer-term context. I'm going to wait for price. Right? I'll pull that local range up. Let's say we come down here. You bearishly retest and you start dropping. You're like, oh my God, what's going on? You're looking at this blind pretty much, right? You're looking at this like, oh my God, what's happening? We're going to zero. Nope. Take off the local range. Look at the macro range. You're like, hey, we got another long zone down here. This is where we can look for confirmations again, right? Once you lose that golden pocket, I mean, that's where you're looking down towards the 786 at about 17 cents. But until then, you have not only your local support levels that you're sitting at. If you lose them, you also have your macro support levels, right? And you can screenshot these levels to get them on your chart. Very simply put. And there's your local range as well. Boom. So that's what I'll be looking at on HBAR. Now taking a look from a market cipher perspective, 622 likes. Guys, let's run that up to 700. 700 likes, and I will take my shirt off. Are we going to get banned on Bitcoin for doing banned on Bitcoin? Are we going to get banned on YouTube for that? I will take my shirt off, guys. I will show my whatever I got under here. Shout out to Crypto Trey. Is it gotten to that point, guys? We need likes so bad. I'm taking the shirts off. I'm taking my shirt off. If we get 2,000 likes, who knows? Maybe I'll take the hat off. Hair reveal. I'm just kidding. My hair is not a secret. All right, let's see. Shout out to Young Money. Shout out to Wheezy. Says, Frankie, can you take a look at Pyth? Is it Pyth or Pith? Let me know. I like Pyth because it sounds less like urine. I'm kidding, guys. We're unhinged today. We're unhinged. I got the Starbucks. We're out of control. Let's see. The People's Nipples. shout out to Joe Hero. Joe Hero. You're my hero, bro. All right, let's continue on. It would be hard to get that shirt off without the hat moving. That's a good point. That's a good point. Hat up. Maybe you got a double whammy. 1,000 likes, guys. Double whammy. I think we could do it. Got 1% female viewers and about to take his shirt off. Shout out to Dave. That is true. It is about 1% female. But they are an elite group of the CandleMafia. Let's see. Shout out to Pablo. Says, hey, Frankie, so depending on how low Bitcoin goes, what levels should we be looking at for Chain link. Maybe we can take a look at chain link. Let's get through. We took a look at H-bar from a market cipher perspective, guys. Like 3-day money flow is still in the green. VWAP getting rejected from the 0 line. But again, 3-day money flow is like a big thing on a lot of this stuff, right? And again, people say like, oh my God, my H-bar is getting hammered, right? Like you have to take a longer term outlook on this. We had a massive, massive, massive move to the upside. 800. You don't pump. Am I tripping, or is that just like H-bar just ripped harder than I thought it did? Yeah, I mean, we just ripped almost 900%, right? So to rip 900%, like to get a 40% pullback is totally okay, right? That's totally fine. That is totally fine. So like if you're worried about H-bar, at least in my opinion, right? Like could this be the top for H-bar forever and it goes to 0? Maybe. Who knows, right? But from a technical perspective, like there is nothing to worry about on this pump to push to the downside. We're not losing any key levels or anything like that. We just had 1,000% pump to the upside almost. So this is likely to happen, right? And your money flow coming up into the green here is one thing that I'm going to be looking at on a lot of these altcoins. Remember the front run of that bullish divergence that I told you guys about, I think at the beginning of the week or maybe at the end of last week. I think it was the beginning of this week. Once we cross over into the green here, if we stay in the green, we just confirmed a candle. Wow. I think that just happened. And money flow starts to peak down a little bit. But, if we can get that green dot here on the 3-day and get that money flow to come back up into a bigger green wave, which is not impossible, we could potentially form a bearish divergence. And the reason that is significant is because if you get a bearish divergence to potentially print here, it would call for a break of structure of the highs, right? Because you have to put in that higher high to get that bearish divergence. So when the momentum waves look like this, sometimes you can front run that bear div and predict the move up based off that incoming bearish signal. In which case, potentially, if I'm just looking at local targets here on H-bar, you could potentially be running into, maybe this level here, at about 42 to 48 cents, right? Maybe you push up, boom, right? And then you put the bearish divergence in here. But again, the front run of that bear div would call for that move to the upside. So we're using bearish signals to predict moves to the upside. But anyway, let's move on here. That's H-bar. Shout out to Tony D. Thank you for the super chat, bro. He says, actually, I just spit all over the computer screen. Actually, it's 5% female. I checked. 6'7", by the way. Shout out to Tony D. I can confirm Tony D is 6'7". He's also probably I'm not even, this is like all jokes aside, I think Tony might be the smartest human being I know. Tony D is like multifaceted smart. He's an engineer, but he's also smart with YouTube. He's also smart with computers. He's also smart. He's like I don't know. It's crazy. It's crazy. Tony's also learning how to trade, which is he's recently taken that on, and I'm excited to see where that goes because Tony D will build an AI bot that he will probably build the first AI profitable trading bot. If anyone could do it, I would put it on Tony. But anyway, let's continue on. Shout out to the coolest Italian in crypto. Shout out to Gifted Kings. Hashtag sauce cans for life, baby. Shout out to Gifted Kings. Thank you for being here, bro. Thank you for the kind words. Let's see. Tony, of the 5%, how many are bachelorettes? Asking for a friend. Shout out to Retro My Tech. Oh, God. All right, let's continue on here. So, bada boom, bada bing. Let's take a look. We took a look at AVAX. We took a look at H-bar. Let's take a look at Gala, or Gala, as I think it's Gala, guys. Gala's I don't think that's what it is. Correct me if I'm wrong. If somebody actually knows, tell me I'm wrong, but I don't know about Gala. I don't think that's how it's meant to be said. I think it's definitely Gala. I don't know. Let me know in the chat. But anyway, let's take a look here. All right, so we actually have a in the grand scheme of things here on Gala, guys. I'll say this, right? Here's your kind of wonked out accumulation range, right? You broke above. You went from the low to the POC. You went to the high. You deviated above. Now you are currently rejecting that value area high. That's not the best sign, right? It's also a monthly level. Try to get, is that I believe this is in tapped monthly. Yeah. So you got above the monthly, right? You peaked above, bounced off it, and now you're potentially flipping it to resistance, which is not the best sign in my opinion, especially because this is also a value area high. If we can't get back above this level, which we already broke down and tried to get back above it and couldn't, if we continue down here, the next big stop for Gala, in my own personal opinion, based off the volume profiles, would be the POC of the range, sitting at 0.02347. You have another monthly down here, sitting as support. I believe that is naked, right? That is untapped. Yeah, you do have an untapped monthly here, right? So that is going to be some good backup. Definitely some good backup support. And if we just pull our full golden pocket 786 from the low to the high, you can see that POC is confluent with your 786, right? So emergency levels here, if the big dump happens and this thing gets totally brutalized, 786 POC is your key level. Underneath that, you have the monthly at 0.01961. That's what I would watch. Right now, you're tapping that golden pocket, right? So if you can't hold that golden pocket, you look down towards the 786. If you can't hold the value area high, you look down towards the POC, which are both perfectly confluent. And then at that point, the question is, are you going to test the POC and launch out of here, or, right, which is not uncommon in bull markets, but are you going to get under here, get stuck, and just lose that monthly and go back down to the low? I would hope this is not the case. I'll be honest with you guys. Like, this would be brutal, especially with the H-bar. Like, some coins are already back down here, which isn't that bad. But, like, if H-bar hasn't even gotten to its POC and we see this value area low hit, something has probably happened that was very bearish, in my own personal opinion, right? Am I saying H-bar? Gala. Sorry, guys. I look at 150,000 coins a day. It's hard to remember exactly what we're looking at. It's really just all candles to me, which is funny. I will say this, guys. When you're an actual trader, it doesn't even matter what the price is, right? Like, the price is really just like a reference point, right? If you gave me a chart with no prices and just candlesticks, no name of the coin, no prices, it doesn't matter, right? I just need the price action. And it doesn't even need to just go up. It could go down too, and we could still find those trades. All right, let's see. Bada boom, bada bing. Shout out to Dan from Mulberry Street. Said tapping the golden pocket is crazy. Shout out to Danny. Shout out to Danny. What's up, bro? Thank you for being here. Do you like cheesy garlic bread or only sauce? Cheesy garlic bread, I could eat for the rest of my life. 100% cheesy garlic bread till I die. Let's see here. Love tapping them GPs. Oh God, Dan! Now you got the whole mafia going. All right, go ahead. Put your tapping golden pockets joke into chat, guys. Give me your best ones, and maybe we'll pick a winner here. All right, let's see. Cold, yo, you guys are crazy. I want a pink hat. Shout out to Jay Violet. Shout out to Jay Violet. We do have pink hats, actually. That is true. If you guys want any hats, you can go to frankcandlestrading.com and check them out. They're actually reasonably priced. Let's see. Would love to get your take on the graph. Then I'll take my shirt off. Yo, shout out to Thomas. Hitting me back with a shirt off request or a shirt off promise. No international shipping. Shout out to Jay Violet. Where you at, Jay Violet? Let me know. All right, I'll put GRT on the list. I don't know if we're going to be able to get to all of these, but I do want to take a look. We went through the whole list. Let's take a look at Arrow. Let's take a look here. Going to zero. Absolute trash. Going to zero. Just kidding. I'm kidding. That's a joke, guys. Please. Some people, like, if someone clicked off the video right as I said that, they'd be like, oh, my God, does he really think it's going to zero? But let's take a look here. Let's see. I'm actually going to pull up the altcoin chart and take a look at Arrow here. There it is. Do I not have this marked up? Unbelievable. I'm going to make a fresh chart here. Is this my altcoin chart? This is the cycle chart. Bear with me here, guys. Spiderline chart, altcoin video. There we go. I know I have an arrow chart somewhere. Here it is. Okay. Oh, man. All right. Well, here we are. It's crazy. All right. So we got the move, right? Just to kind of break down the context. We don't really have like a clean accumulation range down here. This was like very wonky. But just for context, like that is kind of that bottom here in 2024 where we got the big drops down. Things kind of consolidated, even though this is kind of wonky. But we impulsed out of there. Where do you expect price to go once you impulse out of the range? Very simply put, you look for price to go into that previous value area, right? So once you break out here, money flow crosses over into the green on the 8-hour, right? That's just like one signal you could have looked at just because I'm on the 8-hour. But where are you looking for price to run to? Well, price always seeks fair value, guys, and the fair value is in between those volume profiles. So when you leave this area of balance, price is very likely to lift off and approach the previous area of balance, where you have your value area low, which is resistance until proven otherwise. Resistance, resistance, resistance. Once you get above it, that's where you're looking for the move into your value area high. Your POC was very close to the low here. That's why I didn't say to your POC next. Usually it's value area low, POC value area high. But in this case, your POC and your value area low are very close to each other, making it somewhat of a zone. So once you flip that to support, that's where you're looking for the move up to the value area high. And then what happens? You deviate above the range. This is overvalued relative to your recent price action. And then you look for the move back into the range, back to the POC, and then back to the value area low. We have now lost this range, which is not the best sign, right? And we are now coming into our local range, right? Because right now, we've lost the upper range. This is still relevant, right? Because we still want to get back up there for a bigger move up. But we can now hide that larger range. I'll even hide this fib level just to clean the chart up. If we lost that range, where would we be looking down below? Well, we're simply going to look at that previous area of balance. Price comes down, value area high is support, and then come down to a lower time frame. What happens? You break down below your value area high, get accepted into the range, go to the POC. And right now, we're kind of living under this POC. So your next key level to the downside is going to be $1.07. $1.07 is your next key level. Do you have confluence on this level? You do have a daily sitting right here. That's nice. You have another daily sitting just down below. Whoops. Right here. And then you actually have another daily sitting right down here. Do you have any weeklies here? You have a weekly level right here. So if we bring down a lower time frame here now, you actually have some significant support, right? You have your weekly and your daily. I would say probably from the value area low to these two. I mean, really, this whole kind of zone is key support. But you have a weekly, daily value area low here. That's nice, right? And then if you slip down below, you do still have those two dailies down there, right? So I'd be looking at things right now in terms of this local profile. Value area low at 1.0, value area low at 107, almost 108, POC at 118, and your value area high at 129. And that is simply what I would be looking at for Aerodrome. Now, taking a look at the daily money flow in the red, not a great sign here, right? That once that daily money flow comes into the red, you expect that continuation of the downtrend. So, yeah, I'll even mark this out as like a larger zone, right? Like this is your key level of support. Once you start losing this blue box, which now ends at basically $1.000926, that's where I think it's probably going to be a bit more likely, even though this range is a bit wonked out. That's probably where, actually, I'm going to give you this one. That's where I would look. Just snipe that volume profile. Almost got by me. Nothing gets by Frankie Candles. Value area low, POC value area high, right? So these are right on top of each other. So if you start losing that daily, it is a risk, right? Because if you can't hold these dailies, it is nice, right? Because you have the value area high as additional support, but once you get stuck underneath here, you're probably getting that next leg down to about 82 cents. But until, cross that bridge when you get there. You don't have to get too excited just yet. I would just be looking at things in terms of this volume profile as of right now. Key fib levels. One more look at the let me actually see the 3-day real quick. Yeah, 3-day VWAP coming up. Money flow still in the green. That doesn't look horrible. But if we pull from the low to the high, yeah, we're hitting that golden pocket right now. That's 786. 786 is coming in at about, this is worth marking out. I'm not expecting to come down here just yet, but just so you have it on the chart, 786 sitting at 88 cents, right? Again, that's very far away, but right now you're holding your golden pocket. If you lose that golden pocket, even if you get some support on your value area low here, if you lose that golden pocket decisively, you would be technically looking down towards that 786. But those are the local levels. I would really just be watching this range right now. So there you go. That's what I'll be looking at on Aerodrome. Everything else looks pretty similar to all the other coins we've been looking at. We're at 677 likes, guys. That's almost 700, and 700 low-key is most of the way to 1,000. Let's hit 1,000, baby. Smash that like button if you want Aerodrome to bounce back up to the value area high at $1.29. Let's go. All right, let's see. Let's see. You guys are crazy. Shout out to Crypto Trey. Said, go 1,000, baby. Go 1,000. Let's see. Bada boom, bada bing. Jordan says, guys, I think Coinbase is down. If it is, I think we're gonna pump. Shout out to Jordan. I hope that is the case. Let's do a quick little check-in on let's go ahead and check in on Bitcoin real quick here. 92.6. Yeah, she's kind of just still wiggling around here. Yeah, still just kind of wonking around here. Ugly price action here. It's just a grind. Brutal grind to the downside. All right, let's continue on here. Let's take a quick look at Pyth or Pith, as some of you guys like to say. Oh, Soul. Yeah, shout out to Ninzo. Yeah, we'll take a look at we'll take a look at Solana in a second. Let's take a quick look at Pyth. Where's our Pyth chart? Where's my live stream chart? Bada boom, bada bing. Pyth. Let's take a look. That's not it. Pyth. That's not it. Where's our dang Pyth chart? Oh, here it is. Oh, this is old. Maybe that other one was the Pyth chart. No. Where is my Pyth? Bybit? No? Should we make a new Pyth chart? Make a new one for the live stream here. So, let's see here. Let's close this. Get rid of market cipher. We're just going to mark out some. Come on. Get rid of market cipher. There we go. Let's mark out some key levels here. So, I don't love that range. This one, I do love. Bear with me here, guys, while I find these key levels for you. Yeah, there's no kind of just like ugly ranges here, if I'm being quite honest with you. Let's come up some time frames. How do I want to take this? Could pull it like this. I don't love it. I'll take it though. You gotta take what you can get. Let's take a look here. So, you got your value area low, you got your POC, you got your value area high. So yeah, I mean, listen, there's a million different ranges you could pull here. You could pull this as a range, right, which you've already lost. You could pull this up here as a range. You could pull this right here as a range, right? And these levels are likely going to give you beautiful context, but for the higher time frames, for the simplicity of the TA, I'm going to take them here from the higher time frames. So if we pull our fib from the low, from the low to the high, 786 value area low confluence, boom. And then we have our golden pocket POC confluence. It does look like you may want to lose this golden pocket, though. If you can't get back above that golden pocket, losing that POC and coming down to your 786 will definitely be in the cards here. Now, that next zone of support is sitting between about 29 cents and 28 cents between the golden pocket and the value area low. Pulling up market cipher B. Let's take a look at that daily money flow starting to cross over into the red. What does this mean? Well, simply this means that we could potentially anticipate the continuation of the downtrend, right? You kind of faked out into the red, back into the green, but overall, our trend on the money flow is continuing to the downside. Money flow indicates, put it in the chat right now. What does the money flow indicate? Drop it in the chat right now. What does money flow indicate? I'll give you 3 seconds. 3, 2. I'll let one person chat. 1. Frankie, please, any information on Thorchain? Please, bro. Shout out to, there we go, longer trend. Shout out to Dave Digital. Short term, shout out to Kaj. The longer term trend is there we go. There it comes, longer term trend. Let's go. Darren does things in the chat. Let's get it. There we go, longer term trend. Shout out to everybody that said longer term trend. You are correct. The money flow indicates the longer term trend. So if that money flow stays in the red here, we would anticipate, we would be looking at this. And shout out to who said short term trend. This would be the case, right? That would be the case if you're looking at a low time frame, like a 5-minute money flow or 15-minute money flow might indicate the shorter term trend. But on something like the daily, this would indicate that the longer term trend is likely to continue to the downside, meaning that if we did get a bounce to the upside, it would be valid to look for potential lower highs and continuations of breaking structure to the downside, right? Now, you do potentially, on this POC, you do have the opportunity, right now, if we get a green dot at some point soon here, you do have lower lows on your price action into that POC with higher lows on your momentum waves on the daily, which would be considered a daily bullish divergence. But with that money flow coming out, you could also get a bounce, but also anticipate the lower high to come in, right? That daily bull div would be much stronger if we were in an opposite situation here with the money flow and it was about to cross into the green. That would be much more indicative of a massive rip to the upside. But this would make me anticipate a bounce up, sure, a bounce up, but you would be looking for potential lower highs. Where are those lower highs likely to come in at? Well, there's your full Fibonacci retracement. Actually, I think that's the true low right there. So there's your full Fibonacci retracement, 786 golden pocket. That would be like a huge level to watch, but, you know, might not make it all the way back up there. So you can pull from your other significant highs to the low. You have a golden pocket right here. You don't know exactly where those lower highs are going to come in at, but one thing you do know is it's likely for them to come in on golden pocket 786 retracements. And in my opinion, I would be most concerned about this level right here. It is your local golden pocket 786, but it is also confluent with your value area high, right? So maybe it's funny because that's where I was drawing the line to, right? You get a little bounce off that daily bull div. If you put in confirmations here for a bearish signal, right, you could look for a drop back to the POC and back to the low. If you break above here, you would simply look up towards your next zone, which would be sitting here between about 42 and 44 cents, right? So those are the areas I would look for lower highs. I don't necessarily look at all of these at the same time like this. First off, I would really just be looking at this local Fibonacci retracement, right? From the local high to the local low, make that entry zone. This is where I would look for the first bearish sign. Let's pull an anchored VWAP here as well real quick. Just pull it from the high there. And we'll see. Maybe if we bounce, if that anchored VWAP came down there, that'd be some nice confluence. So there you go. You also have a daily level of resistance up here as well. So that would be even more backup resistance, right? So that's what I'd be looking at. We'll see if we can get the bounce there off the daily bull div, if we can print it. Get a bounce off that POC, but I would be careful based off money flow right now. You know, unless it gets invalidated, but I'd be careful right now. You know, you get a little 4-hour bull div here too. Whew. Oh, baby. Oh, baby. Look at that. Little micro 4-hour bull div. You know, money flow still not super confluent here, but, you know, 4-hour bull div into the POC, you know, might be able to get some kind of push up here. And then maybe the daily follows and gives you the bigger move up. But, yeah, that's what I'd be looking at here on Pyth. All right, let's go ahead and move on here. 7 more likes. We know who you are. Let's go. We're going to hit 700, baby. Smash that like button. 3, we're going to go from $6.95 to $7.95 in 3 minutes. But on the count of 3, everybody hit that like button at the same exact time. We're giving away $100 in Solana on Friday. 3, 2, or no, on 3. 1, 2, 3. Smash that like button right now. Let's go. Let's go, baby. Come on, Mafia. We can do it. We can do it. Shout out to GenFen. Shout out to GenFen Law. Again, are you a lawyer? Let me know. Let me know. Said, hey, brother, just came to smash a like and support your channel. Thank you, man. Good night. Hey, shout out to GenFen. I appreciate you, bro. We got GenFen coming in here just to smash the like button. He's not even trying to take some sauce to go. He's just coming in to smash that like button. Thank you so much, brother. I appreciate you. All right, let's continue on. Let's continue on. Getting closer. Shout out to Jay Violet. French Toaster, smash the like button. Let's go. All right, let's go ahead and continue on here. I'm going to take a look at GRT, but first, I do want to take a check in on Bitcoin here. Just still trying to push up here. Trying to push up. Come on. Yeah, just still kind of wiggling around. All right, let's take a look at GRT. That is, if we could find our, there we are. Okay, so on GRT, I don't know what this is. Is that a weekly? What is this? Is it a monthly? What is this? I don't know what this is, but I'm making it a monthly level. I don't know what it was originally. But there you go. You got a monthly level here. Monthly level of support. You got a monthly level of resistance now. You got another monthly level of resistance. Good Lord. All right. Well, let's jump in here. Let's grab the... All right, well, so from a higher time frame perspective, we've broken out. Change this to an entry zone. So we've broken out, right? What is this? Yeah, so we've broken out of our accumulation range. We came into the local golden pocket, which golden pocket 786 retracement, which was confluent here with a weekly naked point of control and a monthly naked point of control, and that is where the top came in, or at least the local top. But in the grand scheme of things, if we come up to a high time frame like the weekly, and we pull our low to our high, right now, We have really gotten a full 786 retracement, and we have bounced right back out of there. So I will say this. Your key level down below, in my own personal opinion, is going to be huge level right here. Value area high, monthly. Boom. Shout out to Jesse. Thank you for the super chat, bro. Yo, Jesse crushing the super chats lately. Shout out to Jesse said, there we go. 723, baby. Oh, so dang. We almost ripped it. It's probably still a minute left. I said 3 minutes. I think it's only been like 2 minutes. Let's see if we can get to 750. We got 30 seconds left. Let's see it. 30 seconds on the clock. Let's get it to 750. Let's go, baby. All right, let's see. When BTCTA, shout out to Dark Crash. All right, let's take a look here. Y'all are the best. Much love. Got to head out early tonight. Hey, shout out to Crypto Billy. Thank you for being here, bro. And I appreciate you for always tuning in and doing everything you do for the channel here as a Frankie Candles mob. We love you, Billy. Go check out Billy Goat Tales, guys. I don't think it's tonight. It's not tonight. But go check out Billy Goat Tales for sure. Shout out to Crypto Billy. Thank you for being here, bro. We'll see you next time. All right, let's see. Michael Snelling said, when CandleMafia meetup? There's that 30 seconds. Oh, we're only at 7:40. We got another 30 seconds on the clock. Let's run it up. 10 people out there. 3, 2, 1. 10 people. Please, for the love of God, smash that like button. When CandleMafia meetup? Guys, we've been thinking, I don't want to leak it here, but we've been thinking of doing maybe a collab meetup with another creator. I'm not going to tell you who the creator is, because nothing's set in stone. Like we've been thinking about it. But yeah, hopefully at some point soon. Maybe the next Bitcoin conference or something like that. I don't know. We got to figure out where the Mafia is mostly located. There's 30 seconds on the clock. 7:47, guys. We needed 750. There it is. 7:51, baby. Let's go. We were looking for 750 likes, but we got a jumbo jet. So I don't know. That's my poor dad humor, guys. It's not even a dad. But anyway, let's continue on. Doing any giveaways? Shout out to Sonny. Hey, Sonny, if we get 1,000 likes, we're giving away $100, $150 in Solana on Friday's live stream. And if we hit 1,000 likes on tomorrow's live stream too, we'll add another 150. So let's see if we can smash it. But let's continue on. Shout out to Dan from Mulberry Street. He said, am I invited? And guys, the creator is me. It's going to be an erotic photo shoot? The CandleMafia meetup is going to be an erotic photo shoot? Am I going to have to, like, cut holes in my ugly Christmas sweater? I don't know. Shout out to Dan from Mulberry Street. I'm not sure what he's talking about, but I don't know. Bring your cameras, I guess. But here we are, guys. GRT, this is your key level. 16 cents all the way down to 14 cents. Like, you really got to hold this level. If you don't hold this, I think, you've already came down. You broke out, right? Went from the low to the POC, break out above the high, into your macro resistance. You get the move back down, test your POC. Usually, and a lot of times, price will come down, retest that POC before the next big leg to the upside. So if this is going to be that big leg up, you don't want to break below this monthly, because if you do, you're going to come back down to the POC and potentially back down to the value area low. So that's what I would look at. Now, 8 hour, let's take a look. Yeah, your 8 hour money flow back in the green. Green dot looking to print here potentially on the 8 hour as well. 30-minute money flow is looking to potentially start trending to the upside. It's not the strongest look. Things are a little bit sus right now, guys. I'll be honest, right? Like, if we don't get these 4 hour green dots, at least on Bitcoin, we don't get that are we printing this yet? Not yet. Like, that 4 hour green dot on Bitcoin with our 15-minute money flow crossing into the green is our next best bet to get a bigger move to the upside. If we don't get that, you guys know the targets down below. The targets down below remain exactly the same. They simply remain, come to a lower time frame, right? They simply remain down here between 90,800 all the way down to the daily horizontal, sitting at 89.09. So we'll see what happens. Can we push above the daily and get that big move up? We'll have to see what happens. 30-minute money flow crossover into the green. After you get the 4 hour green dot and the 15-minute money flow crossover, if that happens, you're looking for the 8 hour green dot with the 30-minute crossover, and that could potentially give us some kind of significant retracement to the upside. But again, until we see these charts start to shape up, I'm going to be looking at that as a potential lackluster retracement to come back down and revisit these lows, right? Because don't forget, your daily money flow is still, starting to come to the downside. You do still have your daily head and shoulders coming in with the lower high on the golden pocket, which is the high probability area to put the lower high in at before breaking structure to the downside. So bearish case, next targets to the downside between 90.8K and 89.7 Lose that, we're looking down towards 87K, 85K, and then that brutal golden pocket, anchored VWAP, daily naked points of controls. We'll see what happens. If Bitcoin dumps, the alts are likely to follow. Pray for Bitcoin, guys. Hopefully. I am still holding a portion of my short. I actually did add a little bit to my short position. Let me see here. I am holding my short position here. I did add to it very slightly. Can you guys see this? Hang on, let me pull up OBS so you guys can see this. So I am holding my short from $108,000. So we'll see what happens. This is over on Femex. If you guys want to trade on Femex, you can check the link in the description down below. It will help support the channel. But if you're looking for a place to trade, Femex is one of my favorite places to do it. So I am holding that trade. I did add a little bit to this. I did have it down. I'd obviously already have $2,700 locked in. But that wound up being like a $19,000 position after I took all the profit, and now I am slowly building on it, right? If we creep back to the upside here, guys, I will continue to add to this position. Now it's a $38,000 position. If we keep pushing up, I may start to add at more key levels of resistance in anticipation of potentially getting the bigger break to the downside. But again, I already have a few $1,000s locked in on that position, so if I ever wind up stopping out, it's still a winning trade. But maybe if we can get a retracement, just to give you guys the local key levels of resistance, if we do get a push to the upside, the key levels of resistance that I would be paying attention to are going to be the same thing they were back here. Pull from the high to the low. Golden pocket 786 is the key level to put the lower high in at. We've seen that. We were crying about this while we were pushing up. 102K incoming was the thumbnail. We got it, and then we talked about the warning here as that was a very key level of resistance. Same thing locally. If we're going to get the full retracement, I would say golden pocket 786, right? This 786 value area high confluence is going to be a key level, right? This is sitting at about $100,000, right? That's level number one. Level number two would be golden pocket POC confluence, right? Because we're going to put another lower high in, and if you're going to get the full retracement, right, this would be that same high probability area to put the lower high in, right, and continue to the downside, potentially targeting those lower prices. So this is the bearish case if we have something bullish happen first. It's still a bearish case, right? But those are the lower highs I'm going to be looking at. And if I pull up our local range here, I'm actually going to hide this just to look at this in a more of a local context. I'm going to get rid of this blue box. We'll get rid of this golden pocket and 786 because we did not hold it, right? So at this point, right, I'm going to keep this daily here. It's tapped, but it is still important because if we flip this to support, we may be able to make it up to the value area high. But I will just say that same golden pocket that I just pulled is also confluent with the value area high of our local range. So, if we do come up, I'd be careful, right? This is sitting between, I would call it 98.3 all the way up to this purple box here. Actually, no, this is the, this is just, I got to get rid of this one. This one's old. So yeah, this box now, I have to move this and update it. Sitting between the value area high golden pocket, sitting between about 98,258 and 98,686. So this is a very key level of support or resistance on the way back up. And here's the thing. It's basically just within terms of the volume profile, right? Like we could potentially look for longs down here. Again, I'm pissed off that I closed that whole position. Hopefully we come back down because I may look to re-enter there. But we're below the value area. You get those bullish divergences, lower lows, higher lows, money flow starts coming up. Get above this daily. We could look to flip that value area low and get our move back through our profile. We have the POC sitting here at 95,652. The main range POC at 97,331. Also a ton of liquidity above here. Just keep that in mind. I spotted that earlier today. But if you break that, could wick into that golden pocket, which would be the next significant key level of resistance, in my opinion, if we're going to put a lower high in the medium term. So, with all that being said, guys, I think that's all the time we got for tonight's live stream. I appreciate every single one of you guys for hanging out here till the end of the stream, and thank you for smashing that like button, guys. We're at 770 likes. If we hit 1,000 likes before the end of the live stream, we're going to be giving away $150 in Solana, and maybe we'll drop some memberships on tomorrow's live stream if we hit that goal as well. But with all that being said, guys, Tell said you might get wrecked. I don't know if you're talking to me or talking to somebody in the chat. But yeah, me getting wrecked. So here's the thing. You don't have to get wrecked. Here's the quote of the day, guys. You don't have to get wrecked if you use a stop loss. So if you get wrecked, it's always your fault. Remember that. You should only be losing trades for a small predetermined loss. Shout out to Crypto Pollo. for the Christmas sweater. I appreciate you guys so much. Thank you for tuning in and sticking around to the end of the stream. Smash the like button on your way out. That's all the time I got for today's live stream. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Same place, same time, right here, 5:45 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, right on the Frankie Candles YouTube channel. That's all I got. Hasta pasta. Frankie Candles out. Bing bong!
Look what's next for me, Joe. I'm gonna get that second bell. Where the is it? They should have had them two bells ready. Spit shine for me.
Yeah. Head up in the clouds, though they saying I look stressed. I've been feeling down, pray to God that I'm up next. Remember when she blew me off, that's why I can't text. Now she call me petty, but I swear I can't forget. This ain't a test. Now they saying that I ball like Jerry West. Coming back for what is mine, can't take no less. I said go and take a shot, so I need your best. And stop the threats, so nobody's into me. I don't got time, I'm not giving the energy. Too many people around me, I'm finicky. I do not mess with you, dog, you're not kidding me. You don't got way too close. I've been up at the top now, so they all wait for the landslide. I seen too many people that switched up, whose man's high. Through it all, I stay the same, I swear to God, I can't lie. Been down so damn low that I came up for my life. They talk way too much on the internet, it's not real life. I swear my fam waiting, I can't lose, and I'm still right. Still right, I swear that I'm working them up till like midnight. It's real life, I got a time and I'm coming to get mine. In time, I cannot lose and I'm coming right inside. I'm in mine, yeah.
Shout out to TRD Farmer. Said his kids just learned that my last name is not Candles. But that's pretty funny, TRD Farmer, because my government last name is Candles. So tell them to wipe the tears. They don't have to cry anymore. My last name really is Candles. My family actually invented Yankee Candle. They think it's because it's Candles, but it's really just our last name. But yeah, we can't get away from that. But shout out to TRD Farmer. Shout out to the fam. Tell them I said hi. And tell your kids my last name really is Candles. They don't have to cry. Shout out to you guys. Shout out to the CandleMafia. Thank you guys for being here. That's all the time I got for today's live stream. This was a weird fake out. I don't know what to do. Hasta pasta. Frank Candles out. Bing bong.
Here we go, at the top of the class on a roll, and it's time to run it up, yeah you know. Maxed out, put the pedal to the floor, ayy. On the road, here we go, yeah we winning by a landslide. Never see me coming on my landmine. Yeah, I ain't taking orders in command like, yeah, you about to see me on demand like, you know on demand. If you ain't know, you about to understand. Yeah, I got the team by my side, right hand. Yeah, take it to a string, you ain't seen it like that. Yeah, and it's the dream, and we coming for the bag. Yeah, and we ain't never going back now. Future expedited, now we on the fast track now. They won't lend a hand, now they see us on the map now. It's time to act out. Here we go, at the top of the class on a roll, and it's time to run it up, yeah you know. Maxed out, put the pedal to the floor, ayy. On the road, here we go, yeah. At the top of the class on a roll, ayy. And it's time to run it up, yeah, you know, yeah. Maxed out, put the pedal to the floor, yeah. On the road, here we go, here we go. Here we go, at the top of the class on a roll, and it's time to run it up, yeah you know. Maxed out, put the pedal to the floor, ayy. On the road, here we go, yeah. At the top of the class on a roll, ayy. And it's time to run it up, yeah you know, yeah. Maxed out, put the